the government organizational structure. Got that accomplished, I think, fairly quickly. The Potomac River Water Supply Agreement was critical to us doing anything else, as well as making sure that the existing city water customers had a safe and reliable source of drinking water. Regarding the expansion of the city's wastewater treatment plant, there was a design to build proposal when we came on that would have resulted in a change order, I'm fairly certain would have resulted in a change order equal to or more than the Monocacy Boulevard project we just approved, the whole project. APFO, we got that in place, and that's something that had been talked about in the city for probably 20 years. Monocacy Boulevard, the central section, stretch of that road, it probably was the most fraught with environmental permitting issues. They've gotten it done, and what it'll, in addition to the transportation improvement it'll provide, it'll open up 30 acres that the city has that we can dispose of to help with other capital projects. So those are the, I feel like the things that I wouldn't call them campaign promises, but the things I said I would work on, I think I did. I think I did exactly what I said I was going to do. Well, I think I treated people professionally. I don't think I was, I think when when there was an assignment someone was supposed to do, I don't think I was constantly looking over their shoulder. If there was a need for me to get involved to help resolve an issue, I think I got involved. I will say too, I think we had a very civil, obviously there were some disagreements here and there, but I think, I didn't add that on, I think we had a very civil administration. I think for the most part we were able to leave disagreements in the boardroom, which is how it should be. You may have a disagreement on one issue, you move on to the next issue, and the disagreement from the previous issue is gone. And I think you did see that some, because I think you saw a real variety of positions on different issues that had nothing to do with political parties or gender. Had it all to do with what that particular alderman's ideals on a specific subject were. So I think that was a good thing. Because at the time I filed, I didn't feel like it was a foregone conclusion that we were going to get the park deal done and Monocacy Boulevard permits. And once I became convinced we were going to get the park acquisition done, regional park acquisition done, and the Monocacy Boulevard permits were going to be imminent, that was really, what caused me to I guess revert to my original plan, which was not to run for another term. Overall, I'd have to characterize the relationship as being an excellent working relationship. And while there was some disagreement over the annexations, my view was I thought a lot of those issues were resolved once we set forth the service area. So I did not anticipate that much of a dispute over it, because I thought I was very much limiting the city's growth area with the scope of annexations that would be even considered, because it was a much retracted area from the 2004 comp plan. I think we've had a good working relationship with the county, and I think the incoming administration will have a good working relationship with the county. You're never going to agree on everything, because they have a different perspective on some of these issues. I also appreciate a lot of things that the county does. I think they do an excellent job in many areas that I would not want to see the city have to handle, such as a landfill, such as public libraries, such as Frederick County Public School, the funding for that. So the county does, I think people need to realize that the county does provide a lot of critical services, and they do an excellent job at a lot of the waste to energy issue is a huge issue. Whether you're for or against waste to energy, I think they did an outstanding job of vetting that whole issue and how to handle the waste. Well, I think one of the things they're going to, obviously everybody's talked about the budget and how to address, the balance between the budget and services. Two, I think, this is not going to make everybody happy. I think The challenge is to utilize the authority you have here as mayor and, you know, get people to understand what their respective roles are without trying to seem too heavy-handed. I worried so much about being viewed as heavy-handed that I maybe didn't stand on, hey, this is what the role of the Board of Aldermen is, this is what the role of the mayor is. And if you don't, you know, if you don't have clear understanding of things like that right up front, I think it can lead to, you know, misunderstandings and hard feelings later on. So I think there's a way you do that, and you try to be as respectful as you can. But I think that's something you really need to establish as early as possible. Well, I just actually came back from a meeting. I'm going into law practice with a gentleman named David Weaver, and I'm still going to continue, you know, some engineering practice as well. We do both do general civil litigation and handle civil legal work, but including business and things like that. He does employment, but we both like construction, so my hope is that some of the engineering will dovetail nicely into construction and land use, but I will continue to do both. My focus will probably, you know, my focus is going to be on practicing law though.